last chance. No beating around the bush.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Blake Production.
What's poppin'? Sun shining right into my eyes, into my room, so that's fantastic. Let's make this a little brighter. Hopefully I don't know if that does anything for the viewer, but we're going to break down the Nasdaq here today. So what I'm most focused on right now on the Nasdaq, right? We've had the past, 7, 8 weeks, 9 weeks of red. So I'm thinking we're going to end off this month, right? A bearish month again. If we look at this monthly time frame, we're going to need some catching up to do on the 8 EMA. Now, when we look at the Bollinger Bands, let's see what we get from the Bollinger Bands. We're about to hit that lower Bollinger Band on the monthly time frame. So I'm thinking June might be a month where we get some sort of a bounce. Again, keep in mind, we are in a downtrend. So this downtrend, what happens is, well, let's think about what happens in an uptrend. In an uptrend, things will get a little bit extended past the 8 EMA, and then they come back to the 8 EMA, right? Now, in an uptrend, you want to buy dips, right? Where in a downtrend, it's the opposite. You're going to want to be selling the rip, if that makes sense. So June, we might see a nice 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. I don't know about 3, but who knows? The idea is that we're going to get some sort of a relief bounce in this range. And that's going to take us up to potentially up to this 13,000 range. And we're going to be looking to see if that acts as resistance. So right now, the bears are in control. So we can't just blindly assume without any evidence, which means we need major bull volume to come in. Otherwise, it might be too early to jump the gun and be like, oh, it's the bottom. That's not what we're trying to do. I think there is going to be opportunity for some bull trades, but they're going to be shorter term trades because the overall trend on the monthly time frame looks like we're going to need to get back towards the 8 EMA. So I'll put that up real quick, which means that there's going to be some sort of a relief bounce in that process. That's my idea of what's going to happen. That or we flush, and if we flush, it's going to be soon, which you'll probably see us hit levels like 10,500, which was support back in September 2020. So I'm not really looking for any trades at the moment. It's like a tough market for my style, but I'm just trying to keep an eye on what is happening so that when the opportunity comes for me to go long and start trading again with my strategy, it'll be profitable. So when I look at, like, right, we go back to, let's go 2008, and let's look at the volume, right, back in 2008 when we had this bear market. So down in this range, major bear volume, right? It's the highest of all time. And then when we get towards this month or two of relief, which is what I'm thinking we might end up like getting that right now. There's going to be a time of relief where everyone's going to get euphoric again. In that time, you got to remember that the bears are in control. It kind of already happened to us previously, but it could very well happen again where we get this 8-9 weeks of relief, potentially, maybe less. But look at the bull volume. It's really not significant here. So we need to see significant bull volume in order for us to get an idea of it's the bottom. So if we look at what happened down here, right, we started to see major bear volume at the lows, but when we started to regather, it was so consistent where people are coming in, right? Volume is coming in, entities are buying. So we kind of want to see that. And we also have this double bottom pattern happening going on. So we'll be looking for that in 2022, right? We'll be looking for some sort of a bottom, like short-term bottom here. And we need to see, is there large, consistent bull volume coming in to mark a bottom? right now, I don't necessarily think it's the bottom quite yet, but you never know. We'll have to see how it react. Do we regain the monthly, the weekly, the daily 8 EMA, or are we going to use that as resistance, right? And also look at the 22. So when we go to the weekly time frame, we're both under it. Now, if you look at what happens, right? It's a bull market when the 8 EMA consistently stays above the 20 EMA. That's huge. There's a little crossover here in April 2020, and then we go above. But as you notice, we have a bearish cross here where the 8 EMA is now lower than the 20 EMA, and that is a sign that we are in a bearish market. So what we need to do in the future is pay attention, right? Do we regain the 8 and then we reject the 20? Because that means we're going to continue to the downside. So what I'm thinking of is 2020 is a write-off for me. I'm not really thinking we're going to get any... I got a sneeze coming. It went away. 2020 for me is the time where I'm going to be gathering funds and I'm going to be patiently waiting for a sign that this market has changed back to a more progressive bull market, right? That could be near the end of 2022. That could be early 2023. There's no rush. Right now is a time for me to gather funds and study charts and practice the eye, sharpening the Sharingan. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But the time will come. I am certain that the time will come. And then again, there's also other sectors now that I'm very interested too, right? Crypto. I'm going to be doing a bunch of research in crypto, gathering Bitcoin, because long term I'm mad bullish Bitcoin. So things will be interesting. But this right here, this 20 EMA, 8 EMA, most important focus for me. Peace.